this. Oh shit, where's the buttons? Don't hit the button, Tosh. See, in this phone, they put the buttons in the most fucked up place. Like, why would you have a button right there and you normally hold the phone right there? You know? But the other one I had before, the button was back in the back. So your hand was just over it, but you didn't hit nothing. You can talk loud, it's okay. Hi, guys. Hi. I'm not like other people. I'm not going to wait until, like, there's somebody actually on the phone, in the room, whatever.
Oh, you don't wait? How do you tell?
I do not wait. You can see the beginning of this bitch all over again, okay? Come on now. We got things to talk about, places to go, people to see. Hi, Keith. I assume that's Keith. And things to do. So, me and my sister were just sitting here chopping it up. And I said, oh, I'm crazy. We should be recording this. So,
hey, peoples. I'm over here off camera.
She's shy. Not.
I'm having a bad hair day.
She's having a bad hair day.
I'm vain rather than shy.
Okay, so what if you don't believe? Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm over there. Okay. What if you don't believe that all of this is... No, that's not my question. What if you don't believe that you ask for your parents and the situations and things that happen in your life? Probably like that James guy, the cosmetic guy that got in all that trouble recently. Dropped down to 6 million subscribers overnight. Okay, over 2 days. Anyway, I'll stay out of his business and mind my own. So sister and I were just sitting here talking, and she's like, I refuse to believe that. I picked my mother and my father in these situations because, you know, kind of had a really fucked up life. Why would I choose that? And the spiritualist in me, of course, had an answer, so I didn't say nothing. Yet. So, why do you think all of this is happening? So let's turn the tables. Okay, so I'm putting myself in your shoes.
Okay.
And saying, why would you choose to be a fat black chick? That's PHAT. And have this life and have all the stuff happen to you that happened.
Well, actually, the best part about my life is that I came black. If I have to take responsibility for something, I would choose to be black all over again, despite the racism and everything else that comes along with that. But because the balance for that is the spirit and the soul and the wisdom that comes with melanin and the ability to have spirit speak to and through you and to be able to communicate with the ancestors, which brings me, I'm going to jump all over the place if you don't mind. Okay, so now I don't know if I told you, but one period in my life I studied the Bible 6 hours a day for 3 years straight. I had 8 different Bibles in front of me: Concordance, Strong's, King James, you name it, metaphysical, you name it. And you know, one thing that was in the Bible was an admonishment not to worship ancestors. And you know, I thought about, well, who does that but Indians and black people?
That's it?
Well, I mean, I don't know if the Mayans did, and I don't know that Chinese do. I mean, I don't know that Japanese do. But I know that Africans do.
Good point.
And I know that black people do. So it's in, you know, even like in one of the critiques of the movie Black Panther was about the ancestor worship, which some people who consider themselves awake consider to be demonic.
Talking to ancestors? Wow.
Yes, because the Bible admonishes against communing or speaking to your ancestors who've gone on, you know, libations, pouring libations, but I think it was put in there because they knew that we did that. And the Bible being a conglomeration of all kind of pagan stuff, it's interesting that they picked that one. I mean, people celebrate Christmas like that's Jesus' birthday, and clearly it wasn't.
Hello.
When there was no December on the calendar during that time, and really they had to travel back for the census, and it didn't happen then anyway. So we're talking about the communing with the ancestors. So so I was saying originally that that's coming here is one of the things I appreciate about being in this dimension, in this realm, in this matrix reality, whatever it is that I chose to come here as a black woman. My contention is that I don't think that I came here willingly. I may have been, well, like, okay, think about it, even Neo was chosen for an assignment. He didn't want it.
True.
They came and got him and was like, this is your assignment. Right?
Right.
And he had to discover who he was. So maybe it's kind of like that.
I like that.
I feel like I didn't, what does that mean when she drags her butt?
Stop scratching your booty.
She's like, but it itches. But because I feel like she cannot, well.
We get recycled.
Yeah, but the bad part is that this is a prison planet. So we're getting recycled.
Or, just like in the Matrix, we just turn into a battery that still supplies energy. Recycle. No?
Okay. Well, we're food for something. Because in the things that I've studied, there are energetic beings that when we express happiness, laughter, anger, sadness, they feed. They're drawn to us immediately, and they feed off of any elevated emotion, whether it's positive or negative. And they feed, and that's so we are food for something energetically.
Amen.
I don't know what they are, quote unquote. I have no idea, but so then that says that really we should live our life like a EKG, sort of flatlining. No highs, no. But then you create a reality that keeps people stressed out. Food.
True.
You have people abuse each other, hurt each other, traumatize each other. That's like a banquet.
Hello.
For the things that are feeding off of us energetically. You have trafficking, you have drug abuse, you have betrayal, you have infidelity, you have everything that can cause you any kind of emotional pain. Just even getting fired from a job. And that's food for something, whatever it is that's feeding. And then you have starvation. So then they get to feed even when you're hungry.
Yeah. That's right.
I used to say that we were like Sims.
Chips?
Sims, that game, the Sims game where you can build a community and a farm.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, I know someone who would build it just to destroy it. Take meticulous care in constructing a fabulous environment because the joy was in demolishing it.
Never thought of that.
Well, she's a brilliant child who also believes that the earth is not round, but brilliant, but that tendency to want to destroy stuff.
But brilliant nonetheless.
Brilliant, and you can be brilliant and diabolical at the same time.
True.
But
so then why would we be here?
okay, so I spent a lot of time studying the law of attraction, and supposedly we came here because this is the leading edge, and we're co-creators, and this is where we get to create. And that we're supposed to be a vibrational match for everything that happens to us. So the issue that I had was, okay, so you're telling me that people in Africa are vibrational match to starvation and war and abject poverty and flies on their face and hunger and not enough water and. On the same token, this is where you see some of the happiest dancing people. There's always that balance. And maybe because life demands life.
Well, I like that.
So life is the vibrational force that's calling forth,
He says yes.
it's calling forth more life, whether we want to come here or not. Because life will have its way.
True.
And people are always talking about the end times. I don't think there's going to be an end time.
Thank you.
Life demands
Thank you.
life. It is not going to be like, just go quiet and just go silent, go dark, and be like, I'm done. I've had all the experience. I remember even once I read that the reason that we're here is because God is all there is. And God could not experience God being God unless God created something that was not God, and therefore our experiences, which allow God to experience God.
Gotcha.
That God didn't care what kind of experiences you're having. Death is an illusion, so we could kill each other, no big deal. And the Ten Commandments aside, that because when we kill each other, we just go back home. So you didn't do anything really. You just sent somebody to their room.
Technically, yes.
You know what I mean? So
You see, and
God,
and technically, that's really how I think of it. So when people are like, "Oh, Tasha, you're such a heartless bitch because you didn't cry over blah blah blah," or what's that black boy and the policeman shot him, and you didn't cry over the latest dude that died a couple of weeks ago. I'm not. You guys got to raise your energy. There's 3 of you in here. I don't have no thumbs up. What's up with that? I mean, come on. Well, if I go to your house, I'm gonna bring a bottle of wine. Come on, thumbs up. You guys raise your energy, please. Think about something happy. You know, sex, chocolate, sunflower seeds, weed, whatever. So we stay nice and on point and focused in this stopping. And you know, I try to tell people, you know, if I can't, because you touched yourself in one of my videos I made, talking about what was the boy Trayvon
Martin.
And I just don't. You know, and if my child went home too. So don't give me no fucking shit about, well, if it were your kid, yeah, well, my kid is on the other side. So don't fucking tell me I don't have a heart. This is just how I believe. And I believe we go home for a reason and we recycle for a reason. So I'm not crying now. He ain't got no pain. There ain't no cops over there shooting him. There's no diabetes. There's no heart attacks. I'm not going to be sad that he went home. I'm not sad that anybody went home. Do I like it? That's a different topic altogether. No, of course I don't like it. I'm a human too. I want to be greedy. I want you to stay here forever and ever and ever.
You want us to live that Methuselah life?
Hello. That's just not possible. So we gotta just suck it up.
900 and some odd years life.
You know, so you can't, just like you can't come to my house, be Jehovah's Witness and get me to transfer over or whatever the hell they call it when you change religions and shit. Convert me. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so I don't feel sorry. I mean, yeah, I feel bad mostly when children go, because, you know, what mother wants to see their child go home early? I mean, before they do. You know what I mean. So, and then I say, okay, well, maybe sister's right. Maybe I didn't. Abnormal thought for me, as you all know, right? And I said, okay, well, there is no box, Tasha, so let's just walk this road. If I'm not here and I didn't choose my parents and I didn't choose to be a fat, beautiful black chick, that's PHAT, this life, or probably, because I think this one, you know, will be a domino effect to all the past and all the future me's, right? It doesn't matter if I'm a boy or a girl or alien or rock, a tree or whatever, right? So then what does that really mean to me? So when she said this earlier, I had to really, I sat down inside myself and I'm like, that's interesting. I mean, you thought about it, but that's like saying, oh, gee, it's hot outside. I want an ice cream. Well, which kind of ice cream? You want rainbow sherbet? You want crazy cream? You want, hot fudge sundae? What you want? Hot fudge sundae. Well, why do you want the hot fudge sundae? Do you really? You see, you got to dissect it. So today, I was not being an Aries whatsoever. So I was in science class today. Okay, so now that's why I said we may as well come on and we can talk about it. We could talk about, get my wheels going, keep my brain going and useful and growing, and you guys too. So if you have a question, feel free to write it and I'll read it to her and she'll answer. Okay, her opinion. Okay, Tag, your turn.
Now, I have to say that I would not want 900 years of this life.
No.
So
No.
whatever they did to discontinue the longevity, thank you, ancestors. Because 900 years of this.
however they
Talk about 12
dispose
years
of this
of slave.
model.
900 years of this would be.
Hi, Raven. Hi.
Holy.
It's so nice for you to come and have tea with me and my sister, Angeline. I always want to call you Angel.
You could do that.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Because in my head I'm always, let's see, Vaseline, Angeline.
Angel's fine because actually one day when I was trying to figure out what my purpose was, Spirit said, look up the meaning of your name. And therein you'll find the answer. Oh, okay, so an angel is a messenger. Boop. So that's my purpose, is to deliver a message. I can do that.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Because I always thought the purpose was the thing that you weren't doing that you had to discover. Instead, oh joy, I found out the purpose is the thing that you already do without effort. That's what made it. That's what made it so beautiful. That's what made it so beautiful. It's like I already do my purpose, so thank you. That made it easy. That's another thing I appreciate about being born into this realm. Okay, so more about the law of attraction. All right, and so we came here to co-create the deliciousness of manifestation.
Amen.
According to the law of attraction. There are many laws, of course, that the universe operates under, and or I should say the multiverse, because I realized that
you gotta be still.
Universe, if you spell it YOUNIVERSE, there's only you in it.
Ding, ding.
There's only you in it.
Mm-hmm.
We think we share a reality, and we really don't.
Amen.
There's nobody else in it, in my universe, but me. And so our universes do a dance. We come together. Some of them collide. Some of them just do this dance, and we move up and we dance with in somebody else's universe. But when I found out that scientifically, no two people even look out of their eyes at the same object the same.
Exactly.
So no one sees me exactly the same. Mm-hmm. We get attached to this image that we have, like being a fat black chick.
Hello, PHA.
But two people would describe you, and they may be similar in some ways, but they can never see you exactly the same, because their camera lens is skewed by their own perception, and everybody's perception in their universe is unique to them, almost like fingerprints. So did you hear about the experiment that they did years ago? A bunch of people were in the audience, and they had someone run out and make these stabbing gestures, and then they asked people to describe what they saw. Everybody saw something different.
Yeah.
Somebody saw a machete, when in fact the person was holding a banana. But not that many people actually saw a banana, because in their mind, you don't stab with a banana. You peel a banana. So the mind makes these associations, which we've been programmed, and that's what all that programming is about. So when you see a stabbing motion, it's got to be, for it to make sense, the mind said it had to be a weapon. Now, if they can do experiments to determine that that's how our mind works. Wow. You're right. Wow. Which is why I had to give up television.
Ooh.
because it's called programming.
Yeah.
Tell, lie, vision. This is about
Hello.
like tell your vision a lie. You're gonna believe it, and we're all lying, and that's what we get paid millions of dollars for, to be liars and actors. An actor means hypocrite. So we get paid. They get paid a lot of money to spin a tale, to create a,
Amen.
and we sit there and
Suck it all in.
and then when I found out that the brain activity when you're watching a television show is the same as if you're staring at a blank wall.
Get out. I never thought about that.
They've attached electrodes to the brain. So to track, so we think because we're feeling something, in response to what we're watching, that, the brain waves would be all over the place. It's like,
Wow.
because watching television puts you in a trance-like state.
True.
So, all right, yeah, no, I think I actually gave away my TV back in the 90s. It was a 32-inch. I was
Back. We're back.
okay.
Thumbs up.
So, when I gave away my TV, I slept 11 hours for the first time in years
Get out.
straight.
Imagine that.
Mind you, this might have been before the Will Smith movies, Enemy of the State.
Good movie.
What happened was I went on a diet. The diet changed my thinking. Everything. And that's another way we get programmed, is through the food that we actually eat. Because when I changed my diet, my thinking changed so dramatically. It was as if I woke from a Rip Van Winkle slumber.
Okay. Raven said that's why they can put subliminal messages in TV programming.
And they do, and they have. I mean, they exposed that in the movies when they used to do that. Let's go out to the lobby. Okay, so inside of that was go buy popcorn, go buy drinks, and people were getting up, all robotic. So supposedly they banned that practice, but go into any store to buy some clothes, and they're playing music, and the music is saying, "Don't steal from us."
Yeah. Didn't think about that, but yeah.
And it probably works the best on the employees who hear it all day long, because you can go in and out and with that on your mind.
Yeah.
But you're not subjected to it long enough, so you go in and you boost what you're going to boost and you leave. But I think they're definitely still doing that. And the powers that be know more about how our mind works than we do.
Definitely.
How we respond to certain stimulus. There was an experiment that I thought was so horrifying. I mean, there's a lot of experiments that humans have done. The Tuskegee Institute with the syphilis. But this one, I can't remember the name of it, and there's actually a movie to go with it, where they had a subject. Let's say you would be the subject, and you would get paid to administer shock to me. And what they discovered was that
Save that movie, Raven.
that people would administer the shock just because they were told to.
Yeah.
Now, what they didn't know was that the person on the other end of it was in on it. They were part of, but they would hear the screams and they wouldn't stop. Turn it up to 150%.
Oh my God.
And they're screaming and because. And I thought,
told you
see, now I have a problem with authority. I would say, I don't like people telling me what to do, so I would not have been a good subject matter for that. But it's weird being that person who dislikes authority when you realize that school is really all about conditioning for obedience. That's really what it's about. It's not about teaching you anything, not for life skills. I mean,
we know that's right.
That's about conditioning for obedience. And then, they sold us this quote unquote American dream. Spend 8, 12, 16 years in school. You know, that includes the 4 years of college. And go out and get a job and have student loans and then buy a house that you're indentured to and buy a car and then have 2.3 kids.
Okay, you guys, raise your vibration so it stops stopping. Okay, go ahead.
And so then at the end of that, you don't pay your taxes, and then you realize you don't own crap. You don't own a thing. That the house can be gone, even if it's paid for, if you don't pay the property tax. So, and then I discovered this just recently. We're back?
We're back.
All right, so you go into a bank, you apply for a loan. The money wasn't there before you walked in the door.
True.
I mean, it wasn't in existence.
True.
Like, I used to think that the bank had a vault with money
Oh,
in it
yeah,
that was
no.
laying around.
Just paper.
The stacks of paper, but I thought it was somewhere that the banks actually used our money to make investments in big things that made them more money, and they lived off the interest, but they charged us for using the bank. No, it's digital. So when you walk into the bank and you apply for a loan to buy a $200,000 house. Once the bank says yes, then they just electronically place the $200,000 in your account, which you now owe them. So they've just made an instrument of debt out of nothing because there was no money attached to that ever, anywhere.
I feel you.
Gone. So, yeah, and and then I thought this is a really interesting game. I got to give it to them. They rigged this mess totally in their favor. When I found out that the Federal Reserve was not a federal institution but private, the IRS is private. The law to make
But we gotta pay.
paying taxes mandatory was never ratified. It is only an agreement. When you sign a W-2, you're entering into a contract. If you null and void that, you rescind your right to pay taxes. You don't have to pay taxes.
Amen.
Human beings don't have to pay taxes. So it's and it says that there shouldn't be tax on labor. Right.
Have to make dinner. Good evening. Okay, sister. I'll see you later. So big points. Big points.
And so then that brings us back to your original question. Why did we come here? Because I'm starting to wonder. It's to live in boxes. We came here to live in boxes, to reproduce, to have offspring, to be slaves to the system, to a system that just grinds on and on. Remember we talked about the fact that people were jumping out of buildings for the stock market crash because they didn't have any money, and that money then was actually backed by gold and silver. So we don't have that anymore.
Nope.
And we couldn't understand why people would kill themselves because, like, make it again. What?
Thank you. We got paper. We got green dye.
Okay, so they just went home. All right, so I mean, essentially, that's what happened. They just went back into the source where we all came from, and then they get recycled and come back again. Here's my only issue with reincarnation. Something does not add up with the numbers of the population.
But so if I agreed to all this stuff, and I said, okay, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna be a fat black chick, and I'm gonna learn how to do this, this, and this, and this, and I'm gonna make jewelry, and I'm gonna try to make peace and teach people how to use their spiritual gifts, blah, blah, blah. So when I go home, I'll be a step up on the ladder of whatever you want to call it and get closer to God's source or whatever you want to call it, right?
That's assuming that you're far from God at any point in time.
Oh, so you're telling me I could be close to God?
I'm telling you that you're never away from God. So you're earning the right to do what? You currying favor with God. I'm being good. So I want my
Mm-hmm.
rewards now.
Mm-hmm. Sneakers.
Hmm. Well, if that's the case, then God's like, I give you a reward. You get Snickers, you get to buy Snickers, you get hot fries, you get your rewards. so, so yeah, and then that justifies inhabiting a body that
Mm-hmm.
decays and dies.
I'll have to ask about that. Good point.
I mean,
I never thought to take this. I never thought to take this thought to court.
okay, well, take this one to court. How many multiverses are there?
Too many to count.
So how many Tashas are there?
Too many to count.
So somewhere Tasha is not the fat black chick, but that
Right.
other one
Right.
who's living that other life that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there, I had a dream years ago that I won an Oscar for the best song of the year that I had written and sung, and it was a soundtrack to a movie. That dream was so vivid that I could feel the sweat on my head.
Damn.
I could both feel myself in my body, and then I could see myself. And the dress that I had on,
Mm-hmm.
it was that gold strip, like a lame,
Mm.
form fitted, same color as my skin. So from a distance, I looked sparkly and naked.
Ooh.
Stomach flat, breast pert, skin glowing. And I'm going to tell you what I said in my acceptance speech. In my acceptance speech, I walk up to the stage, I take my Oscar, and I look out, and I take my time. I look out at the throngs of people, and I say to them, when a dream comes true, take time to savor the moment. And that was my acceptance speech.
Wow, that's deep.
And it was so real. When I woke up, I was like, where's my Oscar?
Mm-hmm.
So then I realized probably one of me in my multiverse had that moment. I
Yep.
just joined in on it. I'm like, she's living the life that this me wants. In my other life, I'm probably a well-known artist.
Yep.
And another me, because what I got was the fragments of all the talents
Mm-hmm.
of the multiple me's, which is why I can sing, I can draw,
She does.
and it was like like I was the repository for the spilled over, the leftover talents. Like you just get all of them, but you have mastery over none. You just have them because the rest of us are actually living our lives in some fabulous penthouse in our multiverse. Did you ever see Jet Li's movie, the one? There was 128 of them, and he found out that if he killed each one of them, he got stronger and stronger. So he traveled through the multiverses, killing himself.
Yes, that was deep.
Right. Okay.
Well,
Well, I wouldn't want
bizarre.
to kill myself in all the multiverses, but they could certainly, I understand that I've watched videos on YouTube that you can do a quantum jump with water.
I'm not jumping anywhere.
So, but my thing is, yeah, if there's exalted me, then there's some humbler me's. There's some me's out there that are having it even worse. If I stumble upon theirs, and it's sort of like that movie that what's his name just did.
Us?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, I don't watch horror movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I cannot see it. So.
Well,
Yeah.
if any of you guys saw it, I want to hear all about it. I'm not gonna go see it, so you're not spoiling the damn thing.
Right, you're not spoiling it for me. I did read some reviews, and I get it. It's appreciated, and and it makes sense to me that yes, there could be other us having the negative experience to the positive. Just negative, not in a way of judgment, but just the polar opposite, experience. And
See, I kind of think that's what a deja vu is.
mm-hmm.
So, like when I dreamt about this place and moved here. Oh, okay. So let me fast forward. So when I told you the other time, God told me to clean the closet out,
Mm-hmm.
and now I know why.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I don't recall everything, I recall telling you that's why I cleaned the closet out. And you're why I cleaned the closet out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that tripped my trigger, and I think I did say that before. Okay, well, we're on the right track. Because to me that says you're on the right track.
Oh, yeah, I've had
Okay, let's keep it pushing, boo boo.
dreams that came true years later exactly the way that I dreamt it.
So is that a deja vu or is that just a premonition?
I believe it's in a dream. It's called precognition. I think.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Okay, we're back.
so sound is every sound that's ever been made. It's still out there because it's energy. So, I think every event that's ever happened, since there is no future,
True.
there is no past,
Mm-hmm.
there is only now. But I think all time exists now. So an event that had already happened is already happened. It's like we haven't run into it in the timeline. So
Mhm.
when we get to it, we have that deja vu
Mhm.
moment. But the thing that kind of trips me out is why is it that two people never have it at the same time?
How do we know?
Well, I mean, because I've had deja vu moments where let's say I was having one now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd say, oh my God, I'm having deja vu, but you wouldn't be having that same
Right.
experience.
Oh, you mean together right now?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Good point. Do you guys ever have a deja vu and the person you're having a deja vu with is also having the same deja vu? Put that in the comments, okay?
Because I've
Fascinating.
never, every time someone's had a deja vu moment with me, I'm never in on it. I'm like, wow, okay, that's deep, but I'm not getting anything. Now, I did read that scientifically, supposedly, what happens when we have a deja vu moment is that because the mind records everything, it records it and replays it immediately, and that's why you get the deja vu. That's the
Fascinating.
scientific explanation, that it's
Mhm.
just record and replay, immediate.
See, so like I have been saying for all these years I've been on YouTube and in these here 3,000 or 4,000 videos on this channel, why be upset over something you can't change because it already happened? You put that feather in your hat. So if it already happened, what are you getting upset for? I'll remind myself of that next time the guy from the pharmacy calls me to try and explain something and it takes him 30 minutes. Just saying.
Well, don't forget you have to feed the entities. That emotion that you were experiencing was their food.
I
Right.
hope not. That was a bitter.
Yeah, we feed them often. We feed them every day, practically of every minute. We're feeding the
No doubt.
entities. Yeah, and have you ever read about walk-ins?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know that phenomenon.
Oh, you know what? That's going to be okay. We'll discuss it now, but that's going to be another video I want to do just by itself. Okay, because you already know I did like 4 on this channel walk-ins. Okay. Go ahead.
So when I first
That's some
started
deep
reading
shit.
about that, I was like, now I have astral traveled
Mm-hmm.
once, no, 2 times. The time that I'm talking about, I went to sleep. Well, I thought I was asleep. The next thing I know, I was floating outside of my body, but I was hovering low to the ground. There was imagine, the fire truck that sound and the whirring lights. And it was so loud and insistent, but I realized why that was there. It was to keep me focused because I wasn't afraid. I could have I would have went off on an adventure and then left my body there unprotected right before something else. That's when I knew that walk-ins were possible, because I wasn't far from it, from my body, but I was out of it and I didn't even see it. You know what I mean? I'm busy trying to, I'm like, oh, where can I go? And my man, like, it was like, no, this is just to let you know that's possible. You're not going anywhere. You get back in your body. And then I was snapped back. I was snapped
Amen.
back. My eyes came, oh, I was like, wow. And my heart was racing. I mean, I knew I hadn't had a dream. That actually did happen to me. And I was excited just for the little bit that I got. The other time I had a astral travel, I was following instructions for a breathing technique. That if you follow it, it will give you an out-of-body experience. And I had it. And this is what happened. And I can even tell you what the technique is if you'd like.
Let's go.
You track your breathing. Because it comes in, it goes down, it stops, and it turns around, and it comes back out. So while I was trying to find out where it was, I could feel myself searching, but the moment I was one with it, where I knew exactly where it was, you have a different kind of feeling. And then the next thing I know, I'm out of my body, attached by a long silvery thread. And I'm going up and up and up really fast. And when I got afraid, I went up and up faster.
Wow. That's nice.
It was like, oh, you scared? Fear is fuel. So I was like, okay. I was cold because I was above the planet. But the silvery thread kept me attached. And the next thing I know, I'm back in my body.
How exciting.
Girl.
And how did you feel?
I love supernatural, so anytime I get to experience something that's not, scary. I mean, it was scary being up, cold but I realized, I'm like, okay, I'm out in the atmosphere, but I can still breathe. Don't give me that stuff about you can't breathe. They try to tell you can't breathe up there. And when you closer you get to the top of the firmament, which is another conversation, but the closer you get to the top of the firmament, that the air is thin and you can't breathe because of the way that it is on the mountains. I was breathing fine. But it's probably because my biosuit was laying in the bed. I think I was just spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit don't need air. So
makes sense.
I loved it. But then I thought, see, I can't delve too much into that because, I didn't have the luxury. Survival gets in the way and forces you to have to deal with the mundane reality of being in this dimension. So I had to leave my astral travel.
Astral travel suit.
Yeah, and get back to the business of surviving, because I think I would have gone way out there. But it let me know that there's more to this existence than you familiar with Ram Dass? Be Here Now, and I was all over that. Yes, and Osho. As a matter of fact, I got the breathing technique from Osho. It's called the Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment. He uses 112 techniques for enlightenment. And this one I just gave you was the breathing method. It said that the one that's for you, you'll know it because it'll resonate with you. And that was the one that was for me. There's one about being able to use your third eye. The bad thing about that is that because we have so much garbage thoughts, that if you ever thought, oh, I wish you would drop dead, it would happen. When you have mastery over that third eye. So that would need to stay closed because our thoughts are just too grimy sometimes. So Anyway, Tasha, you look sleepy. It's time for a nap.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell. Whoop! I've enjoyed our
Just eat.
conversation. Yes, indeed. You got the itis.
Mm-hmm.
You got the itis.
So
Well, I
we're
hope
going to
you guys
continue
enjoyed.
this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just hope they enjoyed it. The ramblings.
And after nap, maybe we'll continue it. How's that? Get your questions ready? And I was going to do questions and answers today. Maybe I still will after my nap. Who knows? We'll see you here later.
Bye. Thank you
Oh.
for listening.
2 more thumbs up. Come on, give a girl a break. You know a girl's trying to get monetized. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I'll see you online. Bye, guys.